Hello everyone. Whatever you say, the world is full with mysterious and inexplicable things. Ghosts, unicorns, mermaids, video editing, fairies, monsters, giants. Just imagine how these mythical creatures would look in the modern world. A huge man stepping over entire blocks, some bridges and parking lots. Oops, you almost stepped on a McDonald's. Be more careful. However, one thing is to use your imagination, but something very different is to see a fantastic beast with your own eyes. So, in today's video, we're going to show you 10 giants caught on camera. Let's get it on. Hydra. Two guys who were resting by the sea managed to shoot a real Hydra, well, or a four-headed dragon. Yeah, this Hydra looks pretty much like a monster from a fantastic film or a computer game, but the man who was filming assures that there's no video editing here. In addition, some people on the internet say that they once saw the exact same giant creature in their cities. Seems that the Hydra's touring the world. But let's look at the giant monster once more. It moves slowly along the surface of the water, swaying slightly back and forth. By the way, have you noticed that people on the boats around don't rush to sail away from the mysterious creature? Well, or at least don't shout something like, "A giant Hydra! Save me!" Well, however, maybe they had a nice phone and got a cute selfie. Oh wow, 10 likes. Giant squid. This story happened to a man who, together with his family, went to visit his relatives for the weekend. It was early in the morning. They were driving along a desert road, but suddenly a very dense fog formed, forcing the driver to slow down. The children were very scared and started shouting loudly. Turned out that they saw something huge and incredibly frightening through the window. The man immediately turned on the camera on his phone, and now we can show you what they all saw. Look closely. A huge creature, similar to an extraterrestrial object, or to one of those alien tripods from the movie War of the Worlds, or to a squid that escaped from a scientific laboratory after a small mutation. Small, but it is amazing. In the video, the giant was walking quietly along the field without paying attention to the passing car. Apparently, the alien monster is too peace-loving to attack, and in fact was looking for a warm and cozy house. Werewolf. You're calmly resting by the sea, enjoying the full moon and the sound of the waves, when suddenly on the horizon appears something. We don't know how to describe this huge creature. It has long forepaws and seems to have serious spine problems. But why? Just look how hunched back it is. Well, who of our viewers just straightened their back? However, maybe this is just a giant werewolf.
Superhero landing! Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
This, by the way, can be caused by the giant moon that shines brightly above the walking monster. But if you take a good look, you can see that the creature seems to be upset and wants to go away and think about life. Why not? Even the most horrible monsters have the right to mourn a bit. Who knows? Maybe the unhappy monster's lost and lonely, wandering in search of its house. Or maybe it had a meeting with the giant squid from the last video, but they somehow missed each other. Godzilla. You've probably watched at least one movie about the giant monster Godzilla, but today we're not going to talk about the different movies and their pros and cons. No, seriously, it's not that important because we found a real video with a real Godzilla. The monster from several films was seen in mid-2017 and was immediately caught on camera. However, the person holding the phone seems to be very nervous because the image is terribly shaky. But don't worry, you won't miss the important moment because it's a giant lizard. For some reason it's standing in the middle of the field. Well, maybe it's a special agricultural Godzilla, besides, which is following a rigid diet. It's difficult to gain weight when you eat fish, but if you live far away from the water, well, you understand. Giant. We don't know why the person who made this video is still walking around with an old phone, whose camera is, let's just say it's quite far from the iPhone X. But this is of course his personal business, because the main thing is the video that the old-fashioned cameraman posted on the internet. Look carefully at the silhouette of a slightly blurry but still moving object. It seems that the quality of this video is really bad, but we can see a real giant. Well, or some distant relative who didn't eat well and was sick a lot. But how he waves his hand or his paw, well, or whatever he has there, after seeing the cameraman, it's so cute. The blurry giant wants to make friends. Monster in the ocean. Now what about a real monster? Or well, not very real, the decision's up to you. We better show you the video that we found. Judging by the description, it was filmed on July 3rd, 2017 in Vancouver, and thank God, on a good camera. Yes, and during the day. Wow, whoever decided to shoot mysterious creatures was incredibly lucky. However, the cameraman certainly wasn't expecting something inexplicable would appear in the lens. He was just standing on the beach looking at the sea storm, because that's what people do when a huge cloud is moving towards them. Maybe he wanted to check what the heroes of romantic films feel, but instead, he suddenly heard a strange roar from the sea. And immediately turned on the camera to catch a giant head. Godzilla with wings? Oh, that nuclear waste. Unfortunately, the video breaks off just as suddenly as the huge monster appears at the most interesting moment. We don't know what happened next, but judging by the fact that Vancouver still exists, the unknown creature limited itself to showing its wings and then quietly went back to the bottom of the ocean. By the way, maybe this is Cthulhu from the universe of American writer Howard Lovecraft. Looks really similar, right? Shark. You have probably heard that only 5% of the ocean has been studied, and therefore, all kinds of unknown creatures can be hidden at the bottom of the sea, which is the reason why people should take deep immersions really seriously. In October 2013, a Japanese research vessel was doing what it had to do, that is, exploring the sea. On board, there was a powerful measuring complex, and on the right side of the ship, in the water, a shark feeder. Yes, some feed birds, some feed sharks, don't be jealous. But suddenly something broke the peace of the lovely ocean predators, and they, like pigeons with gills, swam away in different directions. And one of them, look, suddenly came across something that looked like a large wall. What about the phobia of walls? But after a while, the wall turned, and on this very bad, turbid camera appeared an image of a huge fish. Gills, fin, a dumb nose. Yes, this is Megalodon. But it's extinct, right? Well, the scientists claimed it's Megalodon, but for some reason, except for this video, they couldn't provide proof of their findings. Probably, Megalodon doesn't consider itself very photogenic. Jellyfish. This strange and frightening video was recently made in the state of New Mexico, and internet users immediately thought it was a leak of classified information from the CIA. And why not? There are soldiers and the desert in it, and a huge, bizarre creature. It's really hard to believe in its existence. It resembles a jellyfish, which instead of floating in the sea like its colleagues, flies for some reason. Moreover, it perfectly merges with the surrounding background, apparently having nailed the art of camouflage. Well, or the art of video editing. So, now you know why the soldiers on the video look so interested. But then an explosion occurs and the video dies off. Now we're left to guess what exactly exploded there, and whether there's somewhere, well, a yellow sponge, for example, or at least a star in pants. Gorilla. Well, the story of this video is like the beginning of a fairy tale. Once upon a time, two little boys entered a gloomy forest, but instead of following the laws of the genre and stumbling upon a witch or at least a gingerbread house, they suddenly hear a strange sound in the woods. Honestly, we'd be very frightened if we'd heard something similar in the middle of a forest, but the boys didn't run away. Instead, they began to film, and not in vain. After a few seconds, they managed to catch on camera a huge creature that jumped out from behind some trees and quickly hid behind some other trees. Maybe it was because this bizarre creature resembled a gigantic gorilla and liked trees. Or maybe this is what all mysterious creatures do when they're being filmed. Probably, all the monsters once went to some kind of monsters university or school. So this huge beast, swinging its limbs, rushes through the forest, and we really want to hear that sound from Futurama. Spiders. A river, a boat, a bridge, a sunny day, and a working camera. You might think, what could go wrong? But judging by the giants that we're about to see, this video was shot in the Russian city of Chelyabinsk, famous for its factories, and at the same time its meteorite and its huge spiders. Okay, we're joking about the spiders. Ah, no, it's not a joke. Passing under the bridge, an eyewitness captured a huge monster creeping along one of the beams. Now get all the Ron Weasleys away from the screen. And this isn't all, because if you look at the bridge more closely, you'll see 3 smaller spiders. Well, smaller, small like a dog, you know? Would you have a pet like this? Ugh, it's too scary to imagine. Well, if you're worried about what happened to the giant spiders after the Battle of Hogwarts, you can relax now. They're alright, they just moved to Russia. So friends, do you believe in the existence of weird giant creatures? Share your opinion in the comments and like the video if you enjoyed it. We work really hard for you.
If you haven't checked Jelly Gummy Bear's channel yet, you should do it right away. You'll certainly like all the funny experiments with the jelly bear.
Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks, and we'll be right back to you as fast as we can.